GVTV News. So watch and learn.
Thanks, John, and I'm Randy Hansen. In today's World News headlines, Romney gains a national poll after the first debate. And Obama chides Romney on foreign policy and debate. And meningitis outbreak linked to steroid shots kills at least 8. And Nigerian soldiers killed more than 30 civilians. Palestinian militants fire rockets after deadly Israeli attack. And Russell Tribunal says U.S. crucial in Israeli violations in occupied territories, and ousted President Mohammed Nasheed, arrested in Maldives, and teenager advocate for girls' education shot in Pakistan. And GVTV News is broadcast on Grass Valley Television, a division of Rural Counties Television Network, whose focus is on community involvement. We also air on NCTV. But before these stories, GVTV News would like to thank one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. In today's first world news story, Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney has overtaken President Obama in a new national poll in the aftermath of the first debate last week. Pew Research Center has Romney leading Obama by 4 points among likely voters after trailing him by 8% last month. The two are tied among registered voters at 46%, Obama's lowest mark in the Pew poll in over a year. On Monday, Romney delivered a speech attacking President Obama's foreign policy at the Virginia Military Institute, and he said, "I know the president hopes for a safer, freer, and more prosperous Middle East allied with us. I share this hope, but hope is not a strategy. We can't support our friends and defeat our enemies in the Middle East when our words are not backed up by deeds, when our defense spending is being arbitrarily and deeply cut, that we have no trade agenda to speak of, and perception of our strategy is not one of partnership, but of passivity," unquote. On campaign trail in San Francisco, President Obama said Mitt Romney is wrong to have opposed the winding down of the Iraq War, and said Governor Romney, he has a different view. He said it was tragic to end the war in Iraq. In a speech today, he doubled down on that belief and said ending the war was a mistake. I disagree. Bringing our troops home was the right thing to do, and every brave American who wears the uniform in this country should know that as long as I am Commander-in-Chief, we will sustain the strongest military the world's ever known, and when our troops take off their uniforms, we will serve them as well as they've served us. During his remarks, Obama also addressed his debate performance in Denver last week, saying supporters had criticized him for being too nice. He said, "After the debate, I had a bunch of folks come to me and said, 'Don't be so polite, don't be so nice.' But I want everybody to understand something that was being presented wasn't leadership, that's salesmanship." A rare form of fungal meningitis linked to steroid injections has killed at least 8 people in the United States and sickened more than 100. Officials say that as many as 13,000 people in 23 states have received injections that may put them at risk. Half the confirmed deaths were in Tennessee. Hospital late Monday announced the death of another patient, potentially bringing the national death toll to 9. Outbreak has brought attention to an apparent gap in the regulations of compounding pharmacies that produce medications from drug ingredients. Tennessee's health commissioner warned consumers to avoid recalled drugs from the New England Compounding Center. Dr. John Dresner said, "We really don't know at this time where all those materials are. Important to note, there is no evidence at this time that any of those materials are contaminated. They are being recalled out of an abundance of caution." They have said that certainly anybody that's in possession of materials that say New England Compounding Center or NECC on the label should not use them. Nigerian soldiers, angered by the death of officer who shot and killed more than 30 civilians. The militant Islamic group Boko Haram is active in the area, but a journalist at the scene said there was no signs the dead were militants. Soldiers also set fire to a dozen homes and businesses. One Nigerian soldier said the attack came in response to a bombing earlier in the day that killed a lieutenant. Meanwhile, Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan is pledging aid to tens of thousands of Nigerians displaced by the country's worst flooding in 50 years. Red Cross said last week the floods had killed at least 148 people. Violence has broken out between Israeli and Palestinian militants after an Israeli military strike on the Gaza Strip. On Monday, Palestinians fired rockets at southern Israel after an Israeli attack killed one person and wounded 9 others, including 4 children, and also damaged a mosque and a water tower. Palestinian rocket fire caused light damage and no injuries. A civilian tribunal formed to examine Israeli violations of international law in the occupied territories presented its findings to the UN panel on Monday after a week of testimony in New York City. The Russell Tribunal on Palestine was created in 2009 to bring attention to the responsibility which the state bear for Israel's violations of international law. Presenting their summary, 2 of the tribunal jurists, human rights attorney Michael Mansfield and scholar activist Angela Davis, said Israeli violations are impossible without U.S. government backing. Mansfield said the tribunal finds that Israel's ongoing colonial settlement expansion, its racial separatist policies, as well as the violent militarism, would not be possible without the United States' economic, military, and diplomatic support. Angela Davis said the Russell Tribunal session here in New York will give us the opportunity to further persuade people who believe in justice and Palestinian freedom. Police in Maldives has arrested the ousted President Mohamed Nasheed after he ignored a summons to appear in court. Nasheed is facing charges for illegally ordering the arrest of a judge appointed by Mamoun Abdul Gayoom, who ruled the Maldives for 30 years before Nasheed became its first democratically elected president in 2008. Nasheed was ousted earlier this year in what he was described as a coup at gunpoint by Gayoom's supporters. Nasheed is well known internationally for his activism around the issue for global warming, which he says threatens the survival of his small island country. On Monday, supporters of Nasheed said he was pepper sprayed and dragged away by police to jail. In Pakistan, a 14-year-old who campaigned for the education rights of girls is undergoing medical treatment after being shot. According to Al Jazeera, Malalai Yousufzai was on her way home from school in an area of northwest Pakistan when unidentified men stopped the vehicle she was traveling in. One man reportedly asked for Malalai by name and then shot her in the head and the neck. Another girl was shot in the hand. Malalai had gained international prominence after blogging on BBC about life under the Taliban. Palestinian Taliban has since claimed responsibility for the attack. And that's it for World News today. Now another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News.
Soundcheck Music Center, the Rock and Roll Connection. We have guitars, amps, drum equipment, sound accessories, lessons, and repairs. We are located at 671 Maltman Drive, Grass Valley. 530-272-7236, open 7 days a week.
No one needs anyone, they don't even just pretend. Jonah's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't.
That's right, it's time for the police blotter, and pictures in the blotter not from these actual events but used for visual aid only. These public records are obtained from daily logs issued from Nevada County Law Enforcement, Grass Valley Police Department on Friday, 7:32 a.m. A report was taken from business on 1700 block of East Main Street of an abandoned or stolen vehicle on their lot. At 7:55 a.m. a report was taken in 100 block of North Church Street of theft of a backpack from an unlocked vehicle. And 11:20 a.m., a report was taken from 300 block of North Star Place of an ongoing issue of vehicular burglaries in the area. 1:49 p.m., customer of bakery and coffee shop on 900 block of Sutton Way called and reported theft of a laptop, which was subsequently located. At 3:15 p.m., a report was taken from 200 block of Bank Street of residential burglary and multiple items were stolen, including money. 4:13 p.m., a employee of a restaurant 700 block of Taylorville Road reported customer that left without paying for their meal. 4:41 p.m., a report was taken from 11,600 block of Rainbow Road of a fawn stuck in a fence with its mother nearby. And Nevada County Sheriff's Office on Friday. 12:32 p.m., a report was taken from 17,200 block of Cattle driver of a burglary of a cargo trailer. And 12:52 p.m., a report was taken near intersection Highway 174 and Mount Olive Road of 3 men driving around a large armored truck with wood in the back were attempting to lure young juveniles into their truck. And 3:28 p.m., a report was taken from 22,000 block of Egbert Hill Road of being assaulted by a tow truck driver in July. And 3:42 p.m., a report was taken from 13,600 block of Jones Bar Road that a sheep was attacked by a dog. Its injuries were so severe the caller executed the sheep by firing 2 shots. 6:08 p.m., a report was taken near intersection of Harmony Ridge Road with Highway 49 of a drunk driver. And Saturday, 12:58 a.m., a report was taken from 13,500 block of Quaker Hill Crossroads of a man persistently knocking on her door, claiming his car is broken down and refusing to leave the porch. 1:27 a.m., a report was taken near intersection of Red Dog and Banner Lava Cap Roads that she was sleeping in her Jeep when some subjects came, vandalized it, and then chased her. 7:31 a.m., a report was taken from 10,200 block of Picoit Lane of a dog stuck in a fence, possibly with a broken leg. And 8:18 a.m., a report was taken from 19,700 block of Maywood Place of finding an Australian Shepherd puppy that was subsequently transported to the animal shelter. And 1:50 p.m., a report was taken from 13,400 block of Grand Oaks Place of a burglary and stolen items missing. And Nevada City Police Department on Friday, 4:49 p.m., a report was taken from daycare on 400 block of South Pine Street requesting an officer assistance with a 7-year-old child trying to break through a door after the caller was unable to get a hold of the child's parents. 5:18 p.m., a report was taken 15,900 block of Airport Road that a middle-aged man in a blue pickup truck followed her son and a friend who were walking down the road. And Saturday, 8:56 a.m., a report was taken from 100 block of King Haram Drive of a man flipping out in an apartment. A report was taken about a marijuana theft. At 11:27 a.m., a report was taken from 600 block of Spring Street of residential burglary. And 12:22 p.m., a report was taken from 500 block of Jordan Street of sewage backing up in the street. And that's it for the blotter today. Now another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. Christopher's Old World Deli and Catering Company has brought its delicious food and service downtown Grass Valley. Like desserts? They got 'em. You like international style lunches? They got 'em. Christopher's Deli and Catering for parties, get-togethers, weddings, or whatever. Open 7 days a week. In today's local news headlines, Logue quits Senate race, and Grass Valley man stabbed in marijuana robbery. And Penn Valley political activist endorses Grass Valley City Council candidates. In a story written by Ben Van Demeer, citing health issues, Assemblyman Dan Logue announced Monday he will not seek the 4th State Senate District seat in November 6th special election, and will instead concentrate on winning the final 2-year term of the State Assembly. Last week I was campaigning in Mount Shasta and I had this foot infection, said Logue, Republican from Loma Rica. After the infection was diagnosed as gout, Logue said he began taking antibiotics but felt even worse. When I did some tests, I had 4/5 kidney failure, he said, adding he was also on crutches. Given the size of the district covering 40,000 square miles, Logue said his doctor advised him to change antibiotics and to drop out of the race to ensure a full recovery. It's the hardest decision I've ever had to make, but can't help the people of California if I abuse myself, Logue said, adding he's also changed his diet to address gout. Because the special election of the 4th state Senate seat was also set for November 6, Logue will be on the ballot in both that race and a 3rd Assembly district. By dropping out of the 4th district race, Logue will avoid triggering the special election that would occur were he to win both seats. Logue is former member of the Yuba County Board of Supervisors. Logue's departure means the state Senate race in a heavily Republican district would seem to tilt towards Assemblyman Jim Nielsen, who chose not to run for re-election to the Assembly. However, because Logue's name will still be on the ballot, he could still receive enough votes to either win the state Senate seat outright or advance to a runoff. Nielsen, Republican from Gerber, has the endorsement of former state Senator Doug LaMalfa, a Republican from Ridgeville, who is running for Congress. However, many Yuba Sutter Republicans in recent weeks have said they were supporting Logue. Nevada County Republican Party has endorsed Logue in the state Senate race. In a statement posted on his campaign website Monday afternoon, Nielsen said Logue had called him over the weekend to inform him of the decision to drop out and offering his endorsement for the state Senate seat. My thoughts and prayers are with Dan and his family. I wish him a full recovery, Nielsen said in the statement. In addition to Nielsen's, 3 others are running in the 4th District special election. 2 no-party preference candidates from Butte County and Mickey Harrington, a Democrat, and past unsuccessful Assembly candidate. A 3rd Assembly district race will be between Logue and Democrat Charles Rouse, a Corning area olive farmer and retired postal worker. In recent weeks, Rouse's campaign has noted Logue's failure to appear at several candidate forums for the Assembly seat, suggesting Rouse was the only candidate truly interested in the seat. Rouse said Logue's announcement didn't change his approach. I'm not going to do anything different, he said. We're advertising, we're meeting, we're contacting voters every day. It's busy. And in a story by Rob Parsons, a Grass Valley man was recovering Friday, 3 days after he was stabbed and beaten during a marijuana robbery in the Yuba County foothills. Brandon Mast was watching over a marijuana garden around 3 a.m. Wednesday in the 1600 block of Vera Road in Rackerby when he was attacked by 4 men. Sheriff Steve Dufour said in a statement, Mast, 32, was stabbed repeatedly in the upper torso and arms and suffered multiple facial fractures as well, according to the Yuba County Sheriff's Department. Thieves took several plants and some unidentified property belonging to Mast. It was not clear if the plants were part of a medical marijuana grow. Mast was able to call a relative who transported him to the hospital in Orville. He was later transferred to the Enloe Medical Center in Chico, where he was treated and released, authorities said. Marijuana robberies are on the rise in Northern California in recent months, but authorities have said that it typically this time of year, during the height of the marijuana harvest season, that happens. On September 21st, a man was bound and threatened with a gun and knife at a home in Linda. Thieves escaped with about 30 plants during that incident. A victim was not seriously hurt. Deputies said the 4 people in the robbery left the scene in a 2000 model white Ford diesel pickup truck with 4 doors. 3 people were said to be white males, while the 4th was described as possibly Hispanic or American Indian, the Sheriff's Department said. Anyone with information is asked to call the Yuba County Sheriff's Department at 530-749-7777. That's 530-749-7777. Barry Pruitt, a Penn Valley hard-right political activist who lost the county clerk recorder's race to Greg Diaz, has gone out of his way to endorse candidates in the Grass Valley City Council race, Howard Levine and Jan Arbuckle. Jan Arbuckle and Howard Levine for Grass Valley City Council, he writes. You can read about it on his political blog. Out of Penn Valley, Pruitt also endorsed Tea Party candidate Sue McGuire, who lost to moderate GOPer Nate Beeson in the supervisorial district that represents Nevada City. Pruitt also supported staunch conservative George Smirnos when he lost to progressive Tom Anderson for judge, in this case a countywide race. Anderson received wide bipartisan support, including from prominent Republicans. Nonetheless, the local GOP Central Committee, dominated by the hard right, endorsed Smirnos. Why would Pruitt go out of his way to endorse candidates outside of Penn Valley? Well, partisan political activism, pure and simple. The Tea Party's 40-year plan is here. Progressive Terry Lampier is upset at the staunch conservative John Spencer for district supervisor in Grass Valley was a real shock to the hard right, when he beat him. Jim Firth, who is running for city council, is chairman of the Nevada County Democratic Central Committee. Howard Levine is registered as a Democrat, but has spoken out in favor of reopening the Idaho-Maryland mine and is supported by long-term conservative business interests in the community who are displaying his campaign signs around town side by side with Arbuckle. Arbuckle is endorsed by the local Republican Central Committee. Pruitt has been active in partisan politics since he moved here. His spouse, Kim Pruitt, is a local representative for Congressman Tom McClintock, and she used to be the head of the GOP in Nevada County. With Pruitt's open endorsement of Arbuckle and Levine, residents beyond Grass Valley should be focusing on this race. In case you missed John Trudell, here's one of his songs. Again, I'll repeat it.
Well, we're glad to be here, wherever we are.
It's Grass Valley.
And I have a confession to make. I'm guilty of being innocent. The Native American wisdom of the day. And it all started with your smile and embracing the stir. Fire starting to spark, blazing through my life. Much is said about love, but love seems to change. There's no way to explain or one against
That's it. Today for local, we'd like to thank Amy Goodman, Reuters, Associated Press, Burnett, Sierra Foothills Report, the Union, local law enforcement, and others for the source of our news, and you for watching. Remember, we are the video news media in Nevada County, and we are free 7 days a week. If you would like to have our news, if you have pictures, please include television at gmail.com. Contact information, you can watch the TV in Nevada County, 8:30 p.m. Saturday, 8 p.m. 16 Eastern Time. Streamed on the internet, NCTV's Digital Media Center website at nevadacountytv.org and our website, GVTV.org. And don't forget Grass Valley Television that plays 24/7 on the net, grassvalleytelevision.com. We post to Facebook, YouTube, blip.tv, and many other sites, and have RSS feed and video podcast on iTunes. Just search under video podcast for GVTV News. Grass Valley Television also videotapes local events around Nevada County. If you have a need for video, you can contact us for more info at grassvalleytelevision@gmail.com or 530-362-8889. This show produced by Grass Valley Television of Rural Counties Television Network. We hope you will stay tuned to us for this next season, as we're going to spice up the news in the future. You can always email us ideas and comments, and if you like us on Facebook, we like that. News Player can be embedded on your site, or you can go to our sites, which we already mentioned. Due to the lack of underwriters this year, we will be doing 3 shows a week, playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday editions. We should be expanding when we get more community support.